So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Living Beyond Limits. You all know I'm Reverend Jennifer Spear, and we are a part of Centers for Spiritual Living. I'm so glad that you've joined us today for our holiday service. And for those of you who are joining us online, welcome to our holiday service. And so I invite those of you who are here to join me in reading our mission statement. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. So that's what we are doing here at Living Beyond Limits, is we are giving ourselves the opportunity to awaken to the fact that that presence lives within us. That presence of love and of peace and of wholeness and of power and of goodness, all of those qualities and characteristics of the Spirit exist within us. And they exist within us because our own spiritual essence is of the divine, of Spirit, of God. That we have come here as conduits for that presence. We have come here as expressions of that presence. And we have come here to be that presence here in human form on earth. But what happens is when we wake up to our own spiritual nature and to the truth that we are inseparably one with that presence, that then when the world is not reflecting back to us things like peace or love or telling us that we are less than powerful, we aren't reliant on getting that information from the outside world. We can stop and tap in within ourselves and go, oh yes, it's right here. And as we do that, then we are able to come to the world more powerfully, or more lovingly, or more peacefully. And as we do that, we transform not only our own experience of life, but we transform the situations and the conversations and the relationships. And so I say thank you to every single one of you for answering the call of your own spirit, to be walking this path, to be bringing that presence into this world in a way that is loving and beneficial in a way that only you individually can do. So thank you for that. And so on platform this morning with me is our practitioner, David Conant. He's going to lead us in an evocation. And Margaret Owens is with us today. She's going to lead us in singing the prayer chant, I Open Up, that will take us into that evocation. And so I invite you to just kind of begin to settle into yourself and allow this moment in time to help you slow down and reconnect and find that place of stillness, the place of your own inner being.
Stillness, in the silence, I feel the sacred surrounding me. I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace in the stillness, in the silence. I feel the love inside. surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. Let my soul speak with each heartbeat, every breath I take. In the stillness, in the silence, I feel the light inside of me. I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. Let my soul speak with each heartbeat, every breath I take. In the stillness, in the silence, I feel the Spirit surrounding me. I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. I open up and I find me.
Take this moment and become aware of the presence of Spirit in our minds and hearts. This Spirit, the one source of the universe, is the divine architect of our lives. It is not just present in our lives. This is a universal spirit, the essence of all life. And so that tells me, each one of us, that we live and move and have our being in an ocean of love, joy, wisdom, and abundance. This Spirit is indeed the great companion of our soul. Everything we experience today in this service is who we are. I bless Living Beyond Limits as it blesses us. I bless Reverend Jennifer. I bless Margaret. I bless this service. I bless this holiday season and everyone here. And I bless the earth that is our home while we are in the human experience. And for all this, I am very grateful. And so it is.
And so it is. Are we going to sing? All righty. We're going to sing Joy to the World with a little switcheroo on some words, but you know the tune. Okay, so.
Joy to the world, the light has come. Let earth receive her peace. Let every heart prepare and make room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven
Ancient Christmas.
No, it's really fun. So, happy Hanukkah, everyone. And happy winter solstice. And Merry Christmas. And happy Kwanzaa. And happy Bodhi Day. Isn't that amazing that all of those things happen right now? And welcome to our holiday service and our celebration of the light and celebration of the light throughout the many paths. And so if you don't know, Hanukkah actually begins tonight at sundown. And the winter solstice is this coming Wednesday. And Christmas is a week from today. And Kwanzaa is on December 26th. And Bodhi Day is on December 30th. All right here clumped together. And all of those are celebrations of the light. And so the light has been celebrated and honored and recognized throughout eons of time, throughout various cultures and various religious traditions, from pagan celebrations of long ago and bonfires to secular traditions of putting lights on the outside of your house and on your Christmas tree, to traditional religions and their celebration of Christmas this time of year. And so while the rituals may vary, the theme is really the same, because the theme is really about a recognition of the light that is around us and the light that is within us. And they are all a reminder to look to the light, especially when there's darkness, especially when things feel darkest, to look to the light. And so if we only look at the surface of those traditions and those celebrations and those holidays, what happens is then it becomes about another person during another time. So it becomes about the rededication of the second Jewish temple in Jerusalem during the 2nd century. Or it becomes about the birth of a baby named Jesus. Or becomes about the overcoming of an oppressed people. Or becomes about the awakening of Siddhartha Gautama. That leaves us, like I said, celebrating the past and celebrating somebody else, rather than welcoming and celebrating and honoring the light within each one of us and the light that is within humanity. Ernest Holmes told us that the cosmic Christ is the incarnate spark of God hidden within all things. Within all things. And so I don't know who the author of this was, but I'd read it a long time ago. But Blaise Pascal, who was a Catholic philosopher in the year 1623, he proclaimed that there is a God-shaped void at the heart of every human being. And he and evangelical Christians claim that that hole within us, that void in the heart of every human being, can only be filled with Jesus. The author of this quote says, "Surely there can be nothing further from the truth. Within each and every person, regardless of creed or religious experience, there is a presence, not a void, of the sacred at the heart of each person." Even though this presence of perfect and compassionate love may not be recognized, it is still nonetheless incarnated within each one of us. It happened to Jesus, and it happened to you and me. All of the power of perfect love is incarnated within all people, for all are temples of the Spirit of God. All. In all of those religions and all of those celebrations, it's celebrating that light of the Spirit. And so today, we're going to personalize those stories. We're going to look at how we can make them meaningful to us today rather than about something that happened to somebody else in the past. And so the Hanukkah story tells us that after the rededication of the temple It had been taken over by people that were not Jewish, by the pagan religions. After they took back the temple and cleansed it and sanctified it, and it was ready to be used again by the Jewish people, that they found a cruse of oil. One cruse of oil that was enough oil to last for one day. And so they lit that candle that would last for one day, and a miracle occurred. The story says that a miracle occurred because that one cruse of oil burned for 8 days, which was the same amount of time that it would take for the person to travel to get more sanctified oil and bring it back. And that burning candle was representative of the fact that God is on the job 24 hours a day. So that candle was to burn 24 hours a day, day in and day out. But so what that story reminds us today is that we are never limited by circumstances. We are never limited by this material world or by the limitations of this material physical realm, but that instead, when we partner with that divine presence, when we partner with that, and when we do our part, and when we have faith in the infinite, that miracles occur. But what it tells us also is that we must do our part. We must light the candle. We must stand in faith. We must act as if what we are seeking is already present within us. That's how the miracles occur. And so there is a quote by an author called Edith Wharton. She said there are two ways of spreading the light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. We can do both. We can be that candle and we can reflect that light out into the world. The solstice reminds us to always look to the light. Regardless of what's happening in our life, regardless of how stuck we might feel, to always look for the light and to know that it is present even when things look dark. That is the time more than ever that we are called to look to the light of Spirit. And Kwanzaa reminds us of the enduring light of the human spirit. It reminds us of our ability to overcome. It is a reminder to be self-determining, to create our own path. It is a reminder to bring our best forward. It's a reminder to stand tall and to shine our light out in the world. And Bodhi Day, which is at the end of the month, represents the awakening of Buddha. But it tells us that we all have that Buddha nature. It reminds us of that. It reminds us that we all have the potential of awakening, not just this one man named Buddha, but that Buddha nature lives within us, and that we can awaken to it. And then there's the story of the Nativity. The Nativity is actually symbolic that all of those elements of the story reside within us. They live within us. And so we're going to look at those characters today of that Nativity scene. So the kings, the Magi, the kings showed up at the manger. And they came bearing gifts, which is a reminder to us that there is value in us sharing our gifts. There is value in us bringing our gifts forward into this world. And it is also a reminder for us to be the gift to humanity, to be the gift to the people that are around us, to be the gift and the light in our lives. It invites us to share those gifts with humanity and to share our own light and to be that light and to be that gift. And the shepherds who showed up at the manger, they are a reminder that there is always a loving presence that is guiding us and guarding us and keeping us. And that when we listen to that still small voice within us, when we listen to our own inner wisdom, that then we are guided by that shepherd. Then we are guided by that wisdom from on high that is always within us. But it takes listening to it. It takes being open to it in order to be guided by that. And then there's the sheep. And the sheep and their absence of fear remind us to trust and to follow that inner guidance. And that when we lean into that inner knowing inside of ourselves, when we lean into that inner guidance, then we get that sense that truly all is well. That all is well in that moment. But we only hear that when we listen to our spirit. We do not hear that when we listen to our head and we listen to our ego and when we listen to the opinions of the world. We only get that when we listen to that inner knowingness, which is all about the manger. And the manger reminds us to leave the clamor and the busyness of our lives behind and to enter into that space of quiet. To enter into the quiet, and it is there that we discover that divine light. It is there that we discover the cosmic Christ within ourselves. We discover that Christ light, that divine light, in the silence of that manger within us. Ernest Holmes said, God, the divine Father, never had but one Son. This Son is being born at every season, in every place, through all races and all nations. Every birth is a divine event. Every conception is immaculate. Every child who is born into this world represents the Son of the eternal Father. And so the light is present in all religions. And the light is present in every person. And the light is present in every moment. And so today, we honor it, and we recognize it, and we create space for it, and we give way to that light through our own hearts, and our own beingness, and our own lives. And so we begin our candle lighting ceremony, which is part of this service today. And we join together today for this candle lighting ceremony in honor of the birth of the light through that man, Jesus, and through all of humanity. We honor and recognize the light in humanity and in all traditions, wherever there is a heart open to Spirit's illumination. And so we welcome the light. We welcome the light of the divine and its expression through us and in us. We welcome its expression into our lives and into this world. And so we begin this candle lighting ceremony by celebrating the light within all paths that support us as one human family in being peace and in being grace and in expressing love. For we know that when we are home in that divine presence, then we are home wherever we are. We are home in our lives and home in our community and home in the world. And from there, it is so easy to recognize that we are truly one. And so I begin. O cosmic light, in this silence, take away the darkness of the ages. May we realize that Brahman, the absolute reality itself, in all that is, like a flame taking many shapes. I dedicate this light to Hinduism and Diwali, the festival of the lights, the triumph of the light of wisdom and intelligence over the darkness of wickedness, violence, injustice, greed, and oppression, the triumph of spirituality over materiality. We honor those who walk the path of Hinduism. Goddess, born from the struggle between good and evil, guide us toward the light. In a world where plenty is possible, let us end hunger, thirst, and homelessness. In your nurturing hands, let us seek refuge from want and fear and violence. With your grace, let our world be reborn, where all needs are met, where morality and love are abundant. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You need the microphone.
From the Compassion of the Dalai Lama. Compassion and love are not mere luxuries. As a source of both inner and external peace, they are fundamental to the continued survival of our species. We honor those who walk the path of Buddhism. I dedicate this light to celebrate Buddhism. Blessed by the power of Spirit's illumination, I understand the truth of those who follow the teachings of Buddha in their quest for peace.
The winter solstice invites us to harmonize our bodies, minds, and spirits with the rhythms of the great Mother Earth and with nature itself. It is a time of rest, a time to stand still, a time to reacquaint ourselves with the faith in which we live and breathe. For then, we can draw strength from the one in whom we are rooted. I dedicate this light to the winter solstice, the triumph of the light over the darkness. I honor indigenous people, those who walk the path of the Great Spirit. The winter solstice marks the turning of the sun, and with that, the promises, the return of the light and warmth and new beginnings.
I will follow the shepherd of peace, guided by a star of wisdom to the birth of Christ consciousness. The light of love and oneness illuminate the Christ, for the Christ beheld, I and my Father are one. I honor those who walk the path of Jesus. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
With God, all things are possible. If you want to be more successful in your life, bring the power of the Almighty, infinite intelligence, and divine wisdom into your life. With God, it is possible to have self-confidence, to know that you are always guided and always in the right place at the right time. With God, it is possible to have enough money and some left over. With God, it is possible to forgive those who have trespassed against you. For the presence of God within us is stronger than any fear or limitation outside of us. I dedicate this light to celebrate Hanukkah, the triumph of the light over the darkness and of spirituality over materiality. And I honor those who walk the path of Judaism. God grant me the awareness that I already have the courage to stand up and know that I am your arms and legs and voice and heart, no matter what the external conditions look like.
Today, we honor Kwanzaa and celebrate the enduring spirit of human beings, and we celebrate African American people, their culture, and their history. We celebrate self-determinism, the ability to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. We create for ourselves, taking dictation from the divine rather than from our past or from society. We speak for ourselves rather than remain silent because we don't want to rock the boat or because it's easier. We celebrate Kwanzaa and honor our African American brothers and sisters. Express the perfect light, the light that you are. Today, with spirit, you will co-create the rest. We climb taller, we speak more compassionately. We keep going when the climb gets steeper because we understand we are driven by an omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent power that is unlimited.
There is a thing inherent, natural, which exists before heaven and earth. It stands alone, never changes. It infuses everything and never becomes exhausted. I do not know its name. I call it the Tao and name it supreme. We honor those who follow the Tao. The Tao follows its intrinsic nature, natural and effortless. Its essence is peace and light.
I am the all, from which all proceedeth. with thy mind and understanding fixed firmly upon me, thou shalt come to me. By whatever path you seek, you will find me. We respect and honor our sisters and brothers walking all spiritual paths. True spirit lies beyond the realm of the visible. In each, there's a spark, able to kindle new fires of peace and light and love. Today, we are reminded that within each of us resides the Christ, the Buddha, the Atman, the presence. We are born to be conscious and to know that our true nature is of the divine within us, our perfect and whole self, which today we recognize in all life. We are one in spirit. We are one in the light. We are home. We already contain all of those qualities of the Spirit, the qualities of the Christ, of the Atman, of the Buddha nature. And so I invite you right now just to breathe that in, recognizing the love and the peace and the wisdom, the wholeness and the power, the beauty and the joy, the connection and the understanding of the truth of oneness. And so I invite you to fan that flame, that light that is already within your heart, that light which is in your beingness, and to imagine and to see that light growing until it fills your entire body. And invite it to be alive in you. And so my invitation to you is to know that the light is present in you, to know that the light is present in everyone, and to invite its continual emergence in you and through you and as you. I invite you to join me in prayer, and how good it is to be in recognition of that presence of God, that one Spirit that illuminates everything, that one Spirit that imbues every single person on this planet, that imbues every spiritual path, that imbues every single moment, every single interaction, every single relationship. And I recognize that that presence of Spirit is a presence of love. And it is a principle of truth. It is the light. It is absolute wisdom and intelligence and knowingness, intuition, inner understanding. And it is the highest perspective and perception that sees the whole, that understands the all. And it is from that presence that everything has sprung forth. And it is that presence that imbues everything with its nature. And so today, as we celebrate these holidays and this holiday season, we celebrate the light that is everywhere present, in every person and in everything. And we honor it, we see it, we recognize it, we give way to it, we say yes to it. And as we do so, all seeming darkness fades, dissipates into the nothingness. For the light always overcomes the dark. And where the light is, darkness is not. And so today we put our trust and our faith in that infinite Spirit and in its unfolding, in its expression in and through everything. And we rest in this knowing that presence is in every single politician, in every single decision maker, in every single country, in every single leader, in every single person. The light abounds. In that we trust, and in that we rest. And I release this prayer into the creative law of the universe, knowing that it is unfolding everywhere simply because it's the truth, and we have said yes, and we are open to that. And where there is an opening in spirit, there is an opening everywhere because spirit is everywhere. And so I release this prayer, and I say, and so it is. Margaret's going to sing.
There we go.
Now is the time when we gather together to share in the glory, regardless the weather be blustery and cold or sunny and pleasant. We're here in this moment. That is the present. The season of love is year round. Doesn't take sleigh bells or snow on the ground. Just open heart, letting your goodwill abound. The season of love is year round. Giving of yourself is the best gift of all. Regardless the hour or the date on the wall, for the light is returning and fanning the ember of a heart that's forgotten and longs to remember. The season of love is year round. Doesn't take sleigh bells or snow on the ground. Just an open heart, letting your goodwill abound. The season of love is year round. Ring out the bells, ding dong ding. The song in my heart, sing song sing. Tell of the blessings that flow all around you. Proclaim your good, and it's bound to surround you. The season of love is year round. It doesn't take sleigh bells or snow on the ground. Just an open heart, letting your goodwill abound. The season of love, love is year round.
If you would join me in reading this affirmation. I recognize the light is present within me and everyone. I honor it. I celebrate it. I create space for it. And I give way to it. And so
And
it
so I
is.
think it's time for our invitations. I was the only one, Margaret and I, and the sound person that are privy to the order of service today. Yes, I have a couple of invitations for you. One is, I will be sending out a flyer, but Larry Cosgrove's memorial service has been planned, and it is going to be January 21st. It's a Saturday from 2:30 to 6:30. So if you want to put that on your calendar, just so you don't plan something else if you would like to attend that. I also brought a card today. It's on the back table, one for his daughter and one for his son, that are sympathy cards if you'd like to sign that or write a little note. And, feel free to write on the back of it and the inside and all that kind of stuff too. We're having a vision board workshop on December 30th, which is Friday, from 2 to 4. If you're planning to attend, please sign up today. It'll be the last day that you can sign up so I can go shopping and buy the correct amount of supplies and stuff. And you're welcome to bring friends. If you have a friend that would like to come and do a vision board for the next year, absolutely welcome to do that. We are having our World Peace Meditation, which is actually not on Friday, December 31st. It's on Saturday, December 31st. But it is at December 31st at 4 a.m. The link is right here on your handout. You can take that. We will be sending that out as an invitation also online, so you should be able to just click on that link. But take this just in case so you have backup. We'd love for you to join us. You don't even have to get dressed. You just get up and turn on your computer and sit. And I think we forgot those. We brought candles last week and a prayer for peace. If you weren't here and you didn't get a package last week with a candle, have a candle with you and something to light it with during our peace service, because we forgot to bring the rest of them today. I can email the prayer, yes, to everybody. We will not be here next week. It's Christmas Day. We will not be here on New Year's Day, so we will see you the next week in January. Also, if you are still doing any last-minute Christmas shopping on Amazon, if you log in through Smile Amazon, we get 1% of your shopping. It acts as a fundraiser for us. If you also have Christmas shopping to do, Margaret has lots of pretty things back there if you have a gift still to buy for someone or for yourself. And our Sunday talks are available on our website. They go out on Monday usually, and we invite you to share them with friends and to like us on Facebook and follow us on Facebook and check in on Meetup to say that you're coming, and that helps us all build community.